All right, I am getting it together here. If you would like to come join the space, DM me. I will send you a link. You don't have to put your video on. I'm going to look at the market, see what's going on. I had a crazy show last night in San Francisco at the Palace of Fine Arts, and it was amazing. I'm about to get things going. Give a like, give a share, pop in. Here we go.
Repetitors in the side bus, when it got the night. Repetitors in the side bus, when it got the night. Repetitors in the side bus, in the side. Repetitors in the side bus, in the side.
Yo, check it, I'm catching that wave. Focus the name at the game on the stage. Focus on shine, watch them light up the night. Digital dreams, yeah, we taking flight. This ain't just art, it's a hustle, you see. Bitcoin's a brush, paying wealth digitally. Yeah, I'm stacking these tokens, making my move. In this new world, baby, watch how I groove. We in the cloud, it's a virtual space. Focus the future, setting the pace. With every drop, we rewrite the rules. The step back, we are kings, no fools.
Repetitors in the side bus, when it ride bus. Yeah, like nobody else other than us in the side bus, in this ride bus.
Yo, check it, I'm stacking these blocks. Focus and them is taking over the clock. Superhedron shining, they got that glow. In this crypto hustle, we steal the show. Digital walk, yeah, we making it real. Every NFT drop is a part of the deal. Bitcoin thing, watch it rise like the sun. Focus the movement, and we ain't done. Virtual currency, we strong. Our style, Superhedron's on display, come and stay for a while. This ain't just money, it's a cultural shift. Get on our level, come and take a lift.
All right, and just like that, we are going to get into it. It is Saturday night, and I am resting after just a crazy 24 hours. I don't even want to get into it, but Halloween was awesome this year. We celebrated in wonderful fashion with a bunch of lasers, and we didn't blind anybody. One of the biggest Halloween parties in San Francisco. So it was absolutely awesome at the Palace of Fine Arts last night. It was really good. If anybody wants to come onto the space, send me a DM. I'm not going to read them. I might. But if you want to come on, you don't have to put your camera on. You can just pop in. I'm going to get into the market, see what's going on. There's a bunch of stuff happening. I am back from Ape Fest, back from a huge event in San Francisco that took a lot of time. And we're here. And it's funny, I spent a lot of time traveling, just going from my studio to the event location and listened to a ton of spaces and listening to not even market sentiment, NFT sentiment. If you think about it, it's a really good litmus test, even better than the fear and greed indicator. The NFT litmus test to me signals onboarding. Is it coming? Is it happening? We just had a really neat activation with Boximus Maximus on Amazon with Yuga Labs, and it was awesome. 2,222 NFTs. It wasn't super easy to get them unless you're an Amazon person. I'm an Amazon person. That means they deliver my groceries, they deliver everything. And so all of my information is super up to date as far as Amazon goes. If you are not an avid Amazon user, I understand that some people had some problems with authenticating their account, a bunch of other things. And that stuff was looked at with FUD, but in actuality, that's exactly what you want. Because the crypto space is another realm. We don't want people just coming here haphazardly. So it is nice that those checks and balances were in place. To me, that signifies that Amazon is taking care with onboarding, and it was seamless. And so here's what's interesting. I bought a Boximus Maximus on Amazon, right? Instantly, it was playable on the other side. The next day, I have purchased other NFTs on ApeCoin with the promise of being playable on the other side, and they were not. And I'm still waiting. I get it. Amazon's fucking, we're talking about apples and oranges. What I am talking about is the UX UI for what Amazon did was really seamless. I purchased an NFT on Amazon where I buy my groceries, and I got an email, put the number into the other side, Meta Boximus Maximus, and 5 minutes later, my Boximus Maximus was in my assets, and I was able to select between my mutant and my Boximus Maximus to run around the other side. That's pretty amazing. Now, I understand if you just purchased Boximus Maximus and you're not from this ecosystem, and you probably wouldn't have purchased it if you weren't from this ecosystem. Isn't that a lot like when Luca Netz told everybody to go to Walmart and buy Pudgy Penguin plushies? You think those would have flew off the shelves if it wasn't for NFT nerds? Do you think everybody would have just bought penguins all of a sudden? I don't think so. But the community movement created an action, and it created a domino effect. Watching what Amazon and Yuga are up to, does it create a domino effect? And in my opinion, absolutely. I dressed up as a box for Halloween. That's how excited I am about Boximus Maximus. Holy moly. Okay. Let's get into it. There's a bunch of shit going on. Chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Saturday. It is November 1st. If you have not paid rent, you are late. We are back from Ape Fest. We are back from a crazy event in San Francisco. And I still believe in the mission that we are on. And the sentiment is this: just because you believe where we're going doesn't mean the road is not going to be filled with peril and potholes, which means you can be bullish on things and understand that they're still going to go down. Doesn't have to shake you out of the tree. It means that you need to strengthen your grip. Bitcoin is hanging in around $110,000. Zcash. I posted about 4 or 5 days ago that I like Zcash. It clocked a 7-year high. Solana whales there doubling down while nursing a $6 million paper pain. The market feels confused, tired, and slightly hung over at this moment, which is normal for Saturday. It's really interesting. The Zcash stuff, the privacy coins, I love them as a Bitcoin maxi. I want privacy to be a part of our dialect. I want it to be a part of the conversation. I think it's the most difficult part of what we do here to push forward. I was involved with Mobile Coin that came out several years ago. It was a privacy coin. And From the inside out, it's a really difficult uphill battle. Nation states, governments do not want this. Why? Because of terrorism and bad actors. It's that simple. I remember when the first cameras went up at intersections, whether they were to record crime or to report speeding or red light infractions. I remember when the first cameras went up to start recording people. And in certain neighborhoods, those cameras were destroyed with rocks. People climbed up on telephone poles and ripped them down and said, this is an invasion of privacy. This is no different. This is the start of it, right? Those cameras are everywhere now, and we are just used to it. And the story they sold us was that it's for your own safety. And we decided to believe it. This is no different. This is currency. This is bigger than that. Currency is bigger than privacy. Everybody needs currency. Not everybody cares about privacy. That's the difference. If they can steal your privacy from the currency, they have won the race, which is why Bitcoin needs to stand tall. It is an uphill battle. The Zcash, I love it at the moment. I am invested in it. I watch it daily. Do I believe privacy currency has a footing in the new world? In short, no. It's that easy, in my view. Leave word in the comments if you disagree. I will not read them. We have Bitcoin. It's flat. We don't care. What else am I looking at? You know what? I'm going to pull up some charts super quick and see what is going on. We are going to look at the heat map, and it is a mixed bag. What's nice is since I've been putting the show together, Bitcoin is traded from red to green to gray, which is flat. And it's really nice when the screen turns gray because I don't know, it's just really interesting. We don't see Bitcoin flat that often. Everything's kind of trading flat at the moment. We're fine with this. We're not complaining about any of this stuff. We have Crypto Greed and Fear Index coming in at a 37. Yesterday it was a 33. In complete fear, we're still in fear, but not as bad. Last week, we were also in fear. And last month, if you remember, we were in the greed. 37 is a good sign. DEX volume is coming in at $11.449 billion. We are on an uptrend for sure. I think it's really interesting. It is not altcoin season, coming in at a 43. Altcoin season starts at about a 75, and Bitcoin season starts at 25. So we are somewhere in the middle of these two, mixed with the greed and fear index being extremely low. It does not seem like we are going to go to altcoin season anytime soon, which brings up a couple things. 2 points. One, is altcoin season coming? Two, bear market, bull market. Is altcoin season coming? Maybe it already has. Two, bull market, bear market. What if the crypto industry is like throwing a pebble in the middle of a pond? The first ripples from that splash will be the largest. As they move from the center, the wave heights become smaller and smaller. Are we experiencing a bull market that was peaked when Donald Trump launched his coin, and we just didn't know it? And the bull markets and bear markets moving forward are going to become much closer together. The wave is not going to be as huge. It's going to be much more of a sine wave, just kind of rolling sideways. That's bad news if you're here as an investor looking to 1000x. It's bad news, period, if you're looking for crypto as an asset class to grow. It's an interesting take. I hear all kinds of things: 4-year cycle, 5-year cycle, 6-year cycle. The bull market's never going to be as big as it was in 2021. These bear markets will never be as deep as they were around the SBF FTX crash. Whatever your viewpoint is, if the ripples get smaller, how do you key in on what's happening? How do you earn money? How do you make a difference while you're here? These are questions that I don't have a fucking answer to. I really don't. And you know what I'm going to do? I am just going to check one thing because I sent out a couple DMs to see if anybody wanted to come up here. And I am just going to see. Okay. So, oh, you know what? I need to check. All right. So I'm good for the moment. So looking at stuff, the altcoin index season. We want that to, man, everybody wants that to happen so bad. Bitcoin dominance, it's in the red. Ethereum dominance, it is in the green. What does that mean? Are these long-term prognosis that we can bet on, or are we looking at volatility? What happened to October? I was really hoping it would happen. If the cycle has been broken, November could be up November. Who the fuck knows? Nobody does. Absolutely nobody does. Which makes this less and less fun, right? When people had alpha and we knew what was going to happen and you could act on it and do well, it was really good. These things are getting harder and harder. Are people leaving crypto for prediction markets? And I have a whole poly market segment set up, but I have not done it in a long time. You know, it's interesting. We're seeing sexes and dexes compete for mind share. And it's interesting. I've been listening to a bunch of spaces where people will be absolutely on one side or the other. And whatever your viewpoint is in this space, it's really interesting. It's hard for many to have an open mind. An example is if you listen to somebody on a space and you're like, I don't like their voice, I don't like their intonation, I don't like the way they laugh, whatever the fuck it is, you tune out. If you've been in this space long enough and that same person that you do not like is on spaces all the time, at some point you will be forced to just listen. And if in that moment you can listen and just listen without a reservation, sometimes you learn stuff. And those moments reshape everything for me, which leads me to get into a lot of situation and listen to a lot of spaces because I'm looking for insight and information. I don't know. This space is really, really interesting to me. We are seeing the Treasury Secretary Besson. He is calling for Bitcoin, saying it is more resilient than ever. Now, when the Treasury Secretary of the United States says Bitcoin is more resilient than ever, is that a bear or a bull signal? Like it's either absolutely awesome and incredible or the worst thing we've ever seen. It's play it out. Bitcoin's limited supply. Don't fade it. If you, through the past couple of years, if you had just quietly stacked Bitcoin every Friday and not listened to any of this noise on the timeline and just enjoyed your life, you would be wealthier and more sane than basically all of us on the timeline. We are getting into an ETH versus Solana war. Has it ended? What makes me say that? Ethereum gas goes modular. Solana's gas stays monolithic. What does modular gas mean for Ethereum? We're going to get into that tomorrow, but it is good. And I am fucking such a proponent of Solana. I love Solana. I love ApeCoin on Solana. I love Solana on Solana. And I love Solana. Ethereum, it's getting interesting. The players, the backers, World Liberty Financial, the Trumps, Eric Trump specifically. Will this be the elixir that joins traditional finance and crypto? I don't know. Many say it will. I still believe that Solana is the best thing in crypto since sliced bread. We have a bunch of interesting stuff going on. So I'm looking at some of the Zcash stuff. So their privacy narrative and figure Heloc's parabolic chaos So just watch this stuff. This Zcash stuff, it is going to continue, in my opinion, it's going to continue to be a story. As it gets more and more prominent, as it gets more eyes on it, it will attract the attention that will look to tamper it and smash it and push it down. So these are some of the things that I think get really interesting. Man. Oh, you know what? This is good. This is good. Let me see if I can pull this up. Do I want to do Polymarket? You know what? I've reached out to these Polymarket guys and they've DM'd me back, but they don't DM me back with any urgency. So as much as I want to get into some of my Polymarket choices, and there's so much stuff happening, I've been pulling up this Polymarket website as part of my Rare Bits news for the last, I don't know, year and a half. And there's so much fun stuff here. If you have not jumped onto Polymarket, I think that you should. It's an interesting thing. Now, I have a meeting coming up this week with a financial. I have a meeting coming up this week, and the brain behind this tech that I'm going to speak with on Monday, the brain is telling me these are the 5 coins to put on your hit list. And I will get into what that means, all the things, but I wanted to look at each of these things. Now, the brain, I think 4 or 5 days ago, let me in on Zcash. I was able to get in and do well on it. I posted a couple posts from, I'm just going to call her the brain at the moment. The Zcash is a good play. The WorldCoin, I think, is interesting. Now, and the WorldCoin, I jumped in. I've been a lover of WorldCoin. I think it was probably 2021. I was living in Miami Beach, and the orb came to Miami Beach, and I went and I filmed it and got my eyeballs scanned, and it was fun and interesting. And I think there's an interesting narrative behind it. I've had a WorldCoin wallet since then. WorldCoin's got an interesting thing where if you are a member, I don't know, like every 2 weeks or something, it sends me a text message and says, "Hey, claim your World tokens." So I've just been doing that for the past couple of years. I got a couple $100 in World tokens. I can't figure out how to get it out of my wallet, but I have the tokens. And it's nice seeing price movement up 5.62% on the 24 hours. Like, these are just good things. And the narrative's getting really interesting. But I also fucking think about the narrative with Sam Altman and his interview with not Joe Rogan, excuse me, Tucker Carlson. And the only reason I mentioned Joe Rogan is because Joe Rogan just talked to Elon Musk and they brought up the Tucker Carlson, Sam Altman interview. And I found it really interesting. And there were bells that went off when I watched the interview, but now the bells are ringing again. With all of that information, World token, I think, is still interesting. And yes, Sam Altman has involvement in it. It's just interesting. We're going to go through some of these things. Litecoin up 4.3% on the 24 hours. Now, Litecoin's first spot ETF on NASDAQ pulled in $1.65 million in week one. There's MWeb privacy. Their adoption for MWeb, it just hit an all-time high with about $280,000 Litecoin. That's a 70% plus movement, right? Price broke above all moving averages with 6 times the normal volume and a MACD golden cross. RSI hits a healthy 6.56%. It is not overbought yet. Litecoin is interesting. Many people, I posted something about Zcash, and many people responded to me that Litecoin is something else that they are watching. So I doubled down, and my financial guru says that Litecoin is good. And so I'm just bringing to light some of the things that she said, mixed with some of the comments that I have gotten online off of my post about Zcash. Next up, Telegram. Okay. I fucking love this story. I love everything about this. So, Toncoin, I'm not even going to pull up the chart right now, but I could. Toncoin, last I looked, it was probably down 54% year to date. I think it's down more than any other top 20. You know what? Let's pull it up. I think it's down more than any other top token. I think it's, what are we coming in at? I believe it's down more than any other token year to date in the top 20 market cap. So, is this pulling up? Okay, so we will go. Okay, so Bitcoin's coming in at 110,540. Let's go down. So we're looking at the top 16 tokens. So this is crypto for you. The top 16 tokens on the screen, year to date, Athena. So this is like this 50, it shouldn't even be on my list. So the top 15 tokens in crypto year to date are all in the green. Now let's go to 16 to 30. Okay, so now we get into some interesting shit. Avalanche down 23.9%. I'm not going to give it any breath. Shiba Inu down 42.2%. I had somebody on the space telling me yesterday that Shiba Inu is the buy. One of my best friends is a Shiba Inu whale, and he has been borderline suicide for the last 3 years. Family inheritance, and he put it all in Shiba Inu, and he is not happy. What are they doing? Where are they going? What's the golden ticket? What's going to push them forward? Down 42.2%. Next up, Toncoin down 52.4%. To me, I fucking love this. Pavel Durov, he's a Giga Chad. He had legal troubles that he is still experiencing. He got detained while he was in France, was not allowed to leave, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff has affected the trajectory. Pavel Durov, if you go search for his Telegram group, Pavel Durov's got his own private Telegram group. You can easily access it and join it. What does it do? He posts updates there before he does anywhere else. And he keeps you in tune with what the ecosystem is doing, where they're going. Telegram, there are a ton of not only games, but gifts and stickers that you can purchase now. Recently, through Bored Ape Yacht Club, we were able to pay about $2 for a Bored Ape Yacht Club sticker that sold for about $400 days later. This Telegram ecosystem to me is huge. Every single phone on the planet has Telegram. If you don't use it, you're old or you have no young contacts. Telegram, everybody uses it. When they figure out how to make it a serious payment rail just to move stuff around, I love it. I can't believe it's down more than any other token in the top 25. And it's a token that's associated with an application that's on everybody's phone in the world. Maybe I'm missing something. But I do, man, it's just interesting. So recently they launched the Cocoon Decentralized AI Network. It is GPU owners where they earn Toncoin. Pavel Durov has kind of put all of this stuff together. He's created mini apps for it to be enticing and engaging for anybody that wants to get involved. Just like, and I'm also not wealthy because I'm a terrible trader. But I've been in this space long enough to see things and I don't understand. This seems like it's mispriced and it can only go up. I would love to hear people bash me. Well, I mean, I wouldn't love that. That's not very nice. It's Saturday night and I'm kind of spending my Saturday night doing this. And if you're going to bash me, that kind of sucks. But you can leave word in the comments. I'm not going to read them. Next up, we are going to look at the Ethereum Foundation and Arbitrum and some things that are happening there. You know what? I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip the Arbitrum stuff just because there's ETH stuff, ETH news, and I'm gonna put it in my Substack tomorrow. Arbitrum, is it on your list? Have you been holding? Have you been watching? Do you think it is a buy at this moment in time? Virtual protocol integration pushes agentic DeFi to about $17,000. There's agents. There's some interesting things happening with virtual protocol. And my notes are different than my visuals, so I'm going to have to look into that. Tom, what did you set up here? All right. I just fired my assistant. I will talk about this. So I mentioned WorldCoin and just how interesting and weird it is. And we look for things that may move the market, may change the trajectory of things. So what has just come out in the news is Mythical Game has decided to team up with World ID to bring proof of human to all of the players that are on their ecosystem. Now, many of you have come across the CAPTCHA test when you log into a website. That is the first phase of proving you're human. We are going to get to a phase where the video, everything is so good with AI that you will need better proof than solving a 6-letter fucking, I'm going to write 6 letters with a line through it. Like, okay, do you not think AI is going to be able to figure that out in the near future? The answer is yes, which is why WorldCoin and the iris scan becomes important. Once you get your iris scanned, it's in your World ID, and maybe you're using your World ID for validation. So thinking that gaming companies are starting to look at this as a means of onboarding, it's starting to blend a bunch of things in. Like, how far off is it before your state driver's license or your medical exams or your insurance records don't incorporate proof of you being a human? DNA is good. The fingerprint's good. The iris scan is better. It's the best. And if that is what we have decided to key in on moving forward, how do you think WorldCoin is not going to be a huge player in this? They're the one. Like, they're right. Like, Sam Altman creates the AI, then creates WorldCoin to battle against the AI. Not battle against it, but prove that you are human. He's created the superhuman. He's also given you an opportunity to prove that you are a realistic human. And being able to do these things quickly, future forward, I think is going to be a narrative that continues to play out, which is why I think the privacy stuff gets really tough. I've put foot and sweat equity into the privacy battle, and I don't think it can be won. It's a fight much larger than me, much bigger than my lifetime. It's the ultimate fight. And if we look at proof of human as being an apparatus that's being installed for even gamers to get onboarded, if you can't prove you're human, where does privacy fall in that? It's not even on the scale. It's on the other end of the scale. An entity, it could be anything. You want privacy. This is the final straw, the final argument, the final civil war that we will have over privacy, and cryptocurrency is bringing it to light quicker than many of us anticipated, in my opinion. Holy moly. It is Saturday night. It is almost 10 p.m. on the Pacific. I worked 22 hours yesterday. I'm absolutely exhausted. I wanted to tune in, say hello, say goodnight, and say happy Saturday. We'll be, this week. I got some big shit coming this week. Stay tuned. Stay out of trouble. If you tuned in, ask yourself why. But I appreciate it. I really do. I really do. And what am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? One last thing. There we go. You guys take care.